I landed a job as a full-time data analyst here in Ireland even before graduating and even before submitting my final thesis. Now you might think it was pure luck, but it wasn't. It was pure networking and strategy. Even today, if I decide that I need to look out for a job, I have interviews lined up within a month. So I think I'm doing something right, which you are not. And before I get into that, for those who are new here, hi, I'm Tanmay, a full-time data analyst slash creator living in Ireland since past 3 years, and now I help students and working professionals move abroad, navigate challenges, and live their dream life. In this video, I'm going to share exact steps that I have followed to land a job even before graduation, what has worked for me over the years, how to prep, how to build a network, how to build a strong connection, and how you can stand out in this competitive job market. So whether you are a student about to graduate or someone who is already in the job market, this one's going to be a full of real and practical insights. So let's get started. First things first, reverse engineering. What I mean by that is, so for example, let's consider you have taken a course. In my case, I have taken business analytics. So what you have to do is, first, even before choosing the course, even before paying that fees, just go to the country which you will be visiting, search on LinkedIn, put the location as the country, search business analytics and what all other job titles which you can get into while or after studying that course. So for me, it was business analytics, data scientist, to some extent software development because I had an undergraduate degree. So you have to first of all do your research about what all job titles you can apply to, then go through the job description and see if the job description, whatever technologies or whatever theoretical subjects which are mentioned in the job description are covered in your course. It's pretty simple. Go to the university website, look out for modules and then just cross verify it. And if it is satisfied, now you know like these are the 5 job titles which you will be aiming for. Prepare your CV in that sense. So what you can do is have a master CV which has everything which you have done in each of the domain. And then let's say if a job title comes as a business analytics, then you can cut short the resume and just apply to that business analytics domain. And then you don't have to waste a lot of time on preparing and aligning your resume because you have a master resume which then you can use to cut short things and use it as a business analytics, then cut short things, then use as a data analytics, and then you'll have like a great foundation of 5 different resumes which you can then directly apply with. The second step is find out companies who have a history of sponsorships. I'm considering that you're watching this video, hence you might be someone who is moving abroad or has already moved abroad. Even if not, just analyze if a company is willing to hire freshers, if it has an history of hiring freshers or whatever your experience is. And if you are moving abroad, then just look out for if the company has previously sponsored in the past. Because let's be honest, if you think that a company is providing you with a job and then you think that, oh, after 2 years, you'll work really hard and then you'll get that sponsorship, the company will magically do it for you. Well, it's not that easy. It takes a lot of process. You might get lucky, but that would be only 0.1% chance. So just apply to companies, to save time, who have already sponsored in the past. They know the process. They won't be hesitant to take your application forward. So once you have this, once you have a list of companies who have done it in the past, now if you're in Ireland, I have this list already. You can check the link in the description. Just click on that, download the PDF, and you can sort it by nationality, you can sort it by company, you can sort it by industrial sector, whatever, and then just apply to those companies. Now don't just straight away go to the career page and apply. What you now have to do is go to the career page, analyze if the photographs in the career page are more like people are wearing suit. So how is the company culture? You can analyze that by looking at the photographs at the company website. Now why is that important? Because once you have the tonality, once you know the vision and mission of the company, then you have to reflect the same vision, mission and the language, if it is casual, semi-casual or like professional, in your cover letters. That will make your application much more stronger because the company or the hiring manager will think like, oh, this person might not have the skills, but he is a good cultural fit for the company. And trust me, most of the founders, most of the companies want cultural fit rather than skills. So soft skills are again 100% important than the hard skills, because hard skills can be learned and soft skills take a lot of time to learn. So if you already have a cultural fit, already have those soft skills, they will be happy to hire you. So that's done. Now the next step in the reverse engineering process is go to the company page on LinkedIn, go to people, find out people working in your domain, the managers, or so you can search data analytics managers working in Ireland, and start sending out connection requests while you are doing the course, and start putting out posts about, hey, I did this project, so that it will create an awareness around those managers, like this guy exists. Because in this world, in this day and time, the opportunities are given to only those who are bold, who are out there, because no one is gonna come and knock at your door and say, hey, do you want a job? You have to go and ask for it. So that's how you will reverse engineer things. And once that's done, the next step is hunting. I've touched base upon this in the previous step, which is basically search for people, go to the company page on LinkedIn, go to people section, search with HR department, search with data department, search with whatever niche you are in. Search that, you'll find people, send connection requests, and daily try to aim like 5 connection requests at least. And I know it is difficult to send without a note, but hey, let's do it, because premium version is very expensive and I won't recommend doing it because we have students, and I can completely understand. So the best part is just send 5 connection requests a day. And if you really think that this person will change your life or something like that, and he or she has the power, like C-level executive or something like that, then you can use the note feature. So now that you have sent the connection request and everything is done, while you are at it, as I said, start posting about what projects you are doing, what is the new learning you have done. Weekly 1 post is fine, and you can just repost the same thing again. But ideally, if you can, then you can post 3 times a week. First would be your personality, your personal things. Second would be your thought process or any resources or tools you are looking for, something like that. And third would be purely related to your domain, so that you come out as an industry expert, or not as a guru, but as someone who is continuously pursuing to excel into that particular domain. And trust me on this, you will have opportunities right, left, center. And whenever I have done that, to give you just an example, in the hook I said that if I have to look for jobs again now, I have interviews lined up within a month. That was because I have built this strong personal brand over Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, everywhere. If I go there and DM people, they will look at my posts, they will look at my LinkedIn profile, and they will be happy to at least accept the connection request and have that first conversation. And I mean, I have the foot in the door, rest is on me. So to get that, you have to be present everywhere. I'm not saying like you have to be a content creator, but just put out what you're doing, what you're learning, because this is how it works, sadly, if you like it or not. And without beating around the bush, let's move forward. Second thing is, now Tanmay, what cold DM template should I do? The best is this one. This guy, if you have heard about him, this guy Soham, he wrote cold DMs to all the YC founders, and he was hired at multiple jobs. He was working at multiple jobs until someone tweeted on X. It's still Twitter, I consider it, but anyways, someone tweeted, and then he, like, everything started tumbling down that, oh yeah, this guy did a scam or something like that. But if you, I'll just put out a cold DM here, what he wrote, it's insane. First of all, he uses this psychology hack. He adds RE and colon, which says that he's replying to the message which you have already sent. So I'll be like, okay, maybe I would have sent him a text or something. And then you will look out at it, you'll open the thing, and it's very straightforward. It says TLDR, it gives you a summary that coding is my life. I don't have any other activities other than coding. And it's very subtle. Just look at the example. The next paragraph is basically him explaining that I have worked for this project, I have learned these skills, and so on and so forth. And that is insane. Once you, like me being a founder of this business, this online entrepreneur business of creator and all that, if someone sends me that cover letter or that cold DM, there is a 90% chance I would book the call with this guy and at least see how it is. So your cover letters or your emails have to be, to the point, and it shouldn't be like, oh, I'm passionate and all that. It's all bullshit. Just prove how you're passionate. You have built a project, show that. So for example, recently I was facing this issue about this, like there was this app called Pliability, and it was all around morning ritual, like stretching and mobility and everything. And I'm having issues and I don't want to pay the subscription fee. So what I did was I went to ChatGPT, I developed this app using ChatGPT, went to Sandbox, went to Visual Studio Code, I know React, so I made few tweaks, and that's the project. So next time if you're sending a cold DM, I can include that, like I am, like adaptable with the changing market. I'm using AI to boost my productivity and so on and so forth. And then I know how to deal with data privacy because I'm already working in a healthcare domain. And so like these are all my plus points. Nowhere I'm saying that I'm passionate or enthusiast, but through my examples, it just portrays that I am enthusiast. I am passionate about the new tech, right? So that's how you have to write the cold DMs. Have a look at this template, and let's now move on to the next part, which is maximizing the delta. So I'll just give you an example. I was talking to this friend of mine who is currently in the job market looking for jobs, and I asked him, how many jobs have you applied and what are you doing for, like what does your schedule look like? So this person replies, I do like one application here and there during the day, and there's no structure as such. I do party, I do go to the part-time and just wander around, and during the weekends I make 1 or 2 applications here and there. And I'm like, dude, if you think it's so easy and if you think that you are entitled, and this guy is then cribbing about it that, oh, I'm not getting a job. Well, let me flash this news to you. You won't get a job if you are this lenient about it. You have to, like, there are people who are making tens of applications and everything is catered, by the way. It's not like you're using AI or some automation. If you are, then of course you are doing some smart work, but there are people out there who are like studying 12 hours a day, 13 hours a day about like getting a job, cracking in the interview. I have made a podcast with my friend who is now working in Amazon, and his journey is commendable. This guy used to sit in the library for 14 hours. You're just not maximizing the delta, and this pisses me off. Like, why are you so entitled? I don't know, like, okay, that's a question for you. If you are someone in that shoes, please change that. You have to be working hard. It won't be so easy and it won't be handed out to you. Again, it's your choice, it's your priorities. So if your priority is getting a job, make it your actual priority and let it reflect in your calendar. And if not, then by all means, it's your choice. So what I mean by maximizing the delta, first of all, be serious about it. Second, go to each and every career fair, go to each and every meetups where you can meet people who are into tech domain or something like that. Go there, walk up to them. Now there is 100% chance, 200% chance I would say, that they will redirect you to apply through an online link and so on and so forth. But what you have to do here is, this is the opportunity, the golden opportunity where you can connect with the people who are working in the dream company, which like tentatively you want to work in, or it would be a higher chance that this person, the people at the stand are already working as a data analyst or as a business analytics, whatever your domain is. There is high chances, because if you think like only HRs are going there, no, marketing people, HRs, the technical staff, everyone is there from the team. So you can connect with them, you can ask them questions about how is the work-life balance, connect with them over LinkedIn, get their email address. What you can do on top of that is carry a resume, hand printed copy, dress well, like a shirt or a trouser would do, go smell nice, everything, like have your personality intact, chic. And then what you have to do is carry your resume in a file, folder, whatever. Go there and ask them, I will be applying for this role in your company and I'm very passionate about the product you guys are building. Would you mind taking few seconds, just skimming through the resume and let me know what can I fix? Now this will be an intel, because this is someone who is inside the company, who has already cracked the code, helping you crack the code. Isn't that insane? And while at it, you can just strike few conversation and maybe you can invite them for a coffee chat. If I were to share my journey, I wasn't even planning to go to the career fair. I went to the career fair. We talked about, not about data analysis, not about SQL. We talked about Himalayas. Yeah, Himalayas. We talked about that and then we hit it off. We had a conversation. I followed up for 5 months and then finally I got the interview. But hey, the main point here is, I went to the networking event. I took the step to talk with the HR on some random ass topic, but still hit it off well, and now here I am with the sponsorship, with everything. So that's what you have to do. Maximize the delta. Go to the events, meet people, talk to them, connect on LinkedIn. Then maybe you can ask them, hey, if you're free, we can do a coffee chat. And people are willing to share their journey. If you meet me somewhere randomly, and if I'm not in a rush or I have to catch a bus or something, but if you meet me and you genuinely ask that, hey, I want to get into data analysis, how can I do so? I'd be like, yeah, let's grab a coffee and let's talk about it. How can I help you? Because I will be more than happy, because there were people who helped me. Now I want to help you, and hence I'm creating these YouTube videos and everything. By the way, if you haven't subscribed yet, please, that would mean a lot to me, so make sure to do that. Anyways, so that's what I'm talking about, maximizing the delta. Go to the networking events, talk to the people and everything around that. Just quickly, one more pointer. So when you're talking to the panel in the career fair, now there would be highly chances that if it is a event, like the keynote speaker or something like that, and then you can look up on internet, on LinkedIn, what they are doing, what is their position, if there's any podcast about them, and pretty sure there would be a blog written by them or something like that. Read it, and then just tell them that this particular line in your blog or this particular reply in your podcast, I really loved it, and that's what brings me to join your company, and I'm really happy to be here in the same space as you. And here's my resume. I want to apply for this particular position. Can you help me out with what technologies you are using, or just your email address or your LinkedIn, something like that. Just make a connection and then send the hi right away, so that when you're standing in front of the person, they will at least accept the connection and then reply you back, right? So just play around it, and trust me, networking is the game. There's nothing much more easier than that. Yes, networking feels difficult, but once you do it right, the jobs will just line up. Now, next point, shout in the face. As I said, post everything, what you're doing, about your mindset, about your books you're reading, about the tools and technology, about adaptation, everything, whatever you're doing. Consider yourself and put yourself into 3 buckets, content buckets, which is like, first could be, as I said, personality and everything. Second would be the tools, the productivity, your mindset, everything. And third would be your technical expertise, or your whatever your domain knowledge is. And you don't, again, as I say, you don't have to be an expert in that. You just have to show that you are willing to put in the efforts, you're building the projects, and just talk about them. That's it. And I won't touch base on this pointer a lot, because I have already talked about it in previous points. It's pretty simple. You have to shout, you have to yell, you have to make people remind that you exist. Every single time I meet a lot of friends, and they're like, dude, your videos pop up in my feed every single day. I know everything about you. And that's what I want. I want to be in their heads that this is the guy who makes content, who is building a community, who is a data analyst, who is living in Ireland. I want them to realize that, because in future, if there is an opportunity or something like that in their company, they'll be like, oh yeah, I know Tanmay, he is doing data analysis, he is a content creator, he can do the collab. That's the power of being in front of the people 24/7. Now, this is gonna get really crazy. There are 2 last pointers. First is you have to spam, and which is basically you have to send cold DMs right, left, center. I've talked about how you can space out the template in the previous part of this video. Just make sure that you visit it again if you have forgotten or whatever, and use that. Send the emails. It's pretty simple. I'll give you some hacks. There are 2 hacks. First, use Perplexity, search the company name, and you can find out the director, CEO, CTO, CMO, whatever. Or you can go to the company's page, you can go to their public, if the company is publicly traded, they have to post about the board members, they have to post about the C-level executives. Everything should be made available public, even their finances. If you are in a finance sector, you can analyze their finances, and then maybe you can talk about it in your interview. So that's something which you can do. So if a company is publicly traded, you can do that. If it is a private firm or something like that, then you can go onto LinkedIn, figure out the name of the person. Now this is hack number 2. First hack is finding out the emails by using Perplexity, and it is pretty good at it. It will at least redirect you in some or the other ways, and there are n number of tutorials on YouTube how to find emails for freelancing and stuff like that. So I won't waste a lot of time on that. Make sure you're not including any numbers, like or symbols like percentage, asterisk or anything in your cold DMs, because then that will be treated as spam, so don't do that. Second, make sure your subject line is pretty simple. You don't have to be thinking a lot. Just use that RE colon and something like that, software development job role or something relevant. Or even you can just say, what are your thoughts on this? The person will be like, huh? What? My thoughts? Did I reply to you ever? What thoughts? Something like that. Or you can say, what is your take on this? That's insane. Like that just piques curiosity in my head that what would that thought be? What is he looking for? I need to look into this. And they'll just open the email, and then don't send long ass emails, just like short paragraphs, because no one has a time. And in the end, try to get an answer. Is it a yes or a no? Just say, if this is if you found my profile helpful, would you be willing for a call? Just reply with a yes and we can book a call, something like that. Or just say, if my profile stands out to you, then are you free on Thursday afternoon or something like that at so and so time, and also mention the time zone if there's a time zone difference. And they'll be just reducing the friction. Do not include the Calendly link, because with the Calendly link a lot of options comes up, like person has to click on the link, then see, okay, what are the slots and blah blah blah. Just send on the thing, and if they are busy on that time, they will be like, well, I'm busy, how about this time? And just say yes. That's it. Now the second hack which I was talking about, the cold DMs, is another trick to find emails is, the company name, the company DM, the person's name, first name and first name and last name. Most likely 90-80% of the chances their email would be first name dot last name @ company's domain. Most likely it is there. So just shoot email if it went. If it not, it will just say that it hasn't been delivered. That's it. Nothing to lose, right? So use this trick and send cold DMs. That's it with the spam thing. Now the very final thing, which is, don't stop until you hear a or no. This is very desperate of me. It's kind of like if you treat it with the dating analogy. You have a crush, and even if she says no, you'll be like, still, would you want to go on a coffee date? You ask, right? You ask. So what is stopping you for asking job? It is paying you 40,000, 50,000 a year, right? At least it's better than hearing a no for a coffee, right? So unless and until you hear a clear no or a clear off, I know you might be not doing this in terms of your dating scene, but do that. If it's no, it's no. But anyways, coming to the job situation, do not vanish or something like that without following up. So the best schedule for follow-ups is send an email. After 2 days, if you don't hear anything, send a follow-up like, hey, I know you're busy, but it would be great if you just reply with something. If not, try for 4 days. If not, try for 8. If not, 16. And after 16, drop the ball. You have to follow up. Trust me, I did 5 months of follow-ups, and that's when I got the job. Imagine if I wouldn't have done it, I wouldn't have got the job. I wouldn't be making YouTube videos. I wouldn't be sponsored. I wouldn't, everything would be, I don't know where I would be. So just follow up. And as I said, with the timing, I have already mentioned that you have to do not put a Calendly link. Just make it very less friction for them to reply. Do not have open-ended questions like, hey, so what are your thoughts on this? How can I get into the company? I don't have time to explain everything over an email. Just get an answer. What do you think about my profile? And if you are okay for it, just reply with yes. That's it. It is very low friction for me to read the email and just type a yes. And once you did a call with them, just say thank you. Just express your gratitude for their time, because come on, a person is taking time in their day and to help you out. The least they deserve is a thank you and a gratitude message. That's it. And by the way, you all know the foundation of all this is having a strong resume and a strong optimized LinkedIn profile, because come on, if you don't have that, no one gonna reply to your cold DMs, irrespective doing 5 follow-ups, 10 follow-ups. So if you want help on that, I've created 2 videos, one for the resume and one for the LinkedIn. Go check them out, optimize your resume as well as LinkedIn, and see you there. Bye.